Hey everybody, welcome back to another short episode of Kavinsky's Tutorials, short but extremely useful. So in my video on Geoshred a few days ago, I mentioned that Geoshred officially only takes MPE MIDI in and not regular MIDI. Well, it turns out that is not exactly true. It can take regular MIDI. So in this video, I'm going to show you how, and I want to thank some people on the Audiobus Forum for pointing this out. McD, Cuscolima, Ion 677, really great, really great to share this information. Okay, first let me just let you hear what this can sound like. I'm putting an instance of Fugue Machine, which is a lovely arpeggiator, into 4 instances of Geoshred, and then I've got a 5th instance, which I will play using the Geoshred surface. So altogether we'll have 5. You can see this is a 3rd gen iPad Pro. The DSP is pretty high here. So yeah, this is definitely CPU intensive, but it sounds really fantastic. Okay, have a listen. Okay, so let's talk about how to do this. All right, so the main thing is that when you send your MIDI into Geoshred, you can't use channel 1. It will not recognize channel 1. If you try and send it in on channel 1, you'll get an error message. So basically, you have to use other channels, right, 2 to 16. So for example, here in Fugue Machine, we go into settings. Now, not everything allows you to set the channel that it sends MIDI out on. For example, Ioni RX, which is one of my favorite MIDI arpeggiators, does not, as far as I can see, allow you to set that. So that's a bit annoying. I actually contacted the developer today and asked them maybe that could be added. But a lot of apps do. So we go into Fugue Machine, we go into settings, and we find the place where it's got the channel information. What I've done here is, and I'm not sending anything to channel 1. There are 4 playheads, and I'm sending each of them to a different channel, respectively 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, then in each instance of Geoshred, I just choose a different playhead from Fugue Machine. Of course, you could just use one instance of Geoshred and send in all of the playheads. So sending this playhead 1 into this one, I'm sending playhead 3 in here. Why not 2? Well, because in this instance of Fugue Machine, playhead 3 is quite low pitched, and here, this Geoshred Swam sound that I'm using is the cello, and that will suit, you know, these low sounds. So you can think about that. You can experiment with what instruments are going to sound good with which playhead, etc., etc. So here, playhead 2, and here going to be playhead 4, right? And then just one thing I want to mention as well. So, you know, even though these are being arpeggiated by Fugue Machine, you can still basically play each one by playing the expression pad. Let's just get a little listen to that. Let me get a more obvious one maybe. Let's do the sax. So brilliant, brilliant. I'm so happy that this is possible because, I mean, come on, this makes playing on your iPad. You know, so many people love iPad because it gives you a chance to escape from the whole DAW thing, putting everything down in timelines. A lot of people love jamming. So being able to use MIDI apps and then, if you want, solo over the top of them, brilliant. You can see, by the way, I also put instances of Wove on each of these just to give a little bit of, let me just see here. Basically just adding a little bit of tremolo, but very, very subtle. Another thing that I've done is I put this one reverb on the 4 Geoshreds that are taking the MIDI from Fugue Machine. I put, so that for that I used Black Hole. And then I put Stratosphere. I think this is the 3rd name this app has had. Really, really nice reverb by Blue Mango. I put Stratosphere on the instance of Geoshred that I was playing on screen. Also, just to mention, don't forget that you can set up scales, you know. So the Fugue Machine is in C minor. So to just set up a scale here, you just go in, you go to Performance Settings, and then you go to Keyboard, and just set things here the way you want them. Of course, watch my video for all the information about the Swam sounds in Geoshred and a lot of general tips about how to set things up in Geoshred. So it's nice to use a different reverb for the solo instrument just to set it apart a little bit. Okay, yeah, whoa, right. Hang on. I've also got a video on this, by the way, really, really great little app. So you see, that would be very extreme, but I was just putting on a little bit. Of course, you could also modulate this using an LFO because Wove's parameters are exposed. So you could get an LFO to just do little adjustments here. Although this can also do a little bit of its own adjustments using these things. So yeah, great little app. So, as I say, absolutely overjoyed that this is actually possible. It's brilliant. So, if you enjoyed this video, folks, please give it a like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Usually I have codes to give away. I gave away 5 codes for Geoshred in my last video for that. If you're not familiar with the channel, you missed that opportunity, but I almost always have free copies of apps to give away with my videos. So hit that notification bell when you subscribe to make sure you don't miss out on future videos. And, write a comment in the comment section. I try to answer as many comments as I can. If you have a question or whatever, fire away. All right, folks, see you in the next video. Thank you. Take care.